guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Casey. Today is the third Monday in August, and for Mondays in Vlogust we do a Monday morning chat with me about my small cleaning business. Got my fancy Walmart notebook here. So today's conversation is how to know what to charge and estimates and quotes. I would say first that what you charge and how much each job would be will depend a lot on what state you live in. What we're not about to do is talk about my hair, because it's Monday and I got a lot to do, so messy bun had to happen. So a lot of what you will charge and quotes and estimates will be based on what state you live in. And I am from Alabama, and everybody is like broke. So depending on what state you live in, what I say that I may charge somebody might sound like nothing to you. So just remember that I am from Alabama, which is like the highest poverty, lowest income state like in the world. So with that being said, the first thing I want to talk about is the different types of scheduling that I do for jobs. So I do weekly cleans, which are my favorite. I know what day of the week I'm coming. I can put it in I have a Erin Condren planner. This is the back of it, and it's upside down. This is my horoscope, and it has Life with Casey, my channel name, and I love that so much. So anywho, I have a planner, and if I know I'm coming every week on the same day, I can put it in my planner. It's easy to keep up with. That is what I prefer. And of course, if it's a weekly job, it is going to be a lower amount of estimate or quote in general, because you're going back every week, so it's not going to be as hard of a job as if you went every other week or once a month. So remember that too. If you are quoting a job that is going to be weekly or bi-weekly, it's going to be less than if you quote a one-time job or a monthly job or a one-time deep clean. Totally different things. So I do weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and once a month deep cleans, or one-time jobs. Some people may buy a cleaning as a gift for a family member. Therefore, you would only go that one time that, you know, they were paying you for. So that's one-time jobs. The highest paying, the easiest, and the best jobs to get for a cleaning business are move in and move out cleans. Number one, because nobody's home. There's no stuff there. It is empty. Someone has just moved out of it, or someone is planning to move in it. They have bought the house and they just want it refreshed. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, when you go in to clean a move-in clean, the people who moved out already had the house cleaned for the realtors to put it on the market. So when you go in, it's basically going to be clean, and what you're going to do is just refresh it, do the floors, make everything shine, clean up, make it smell good, and it looks like you have put in about 4 or 5 hours worth of work. And you can charge it that way because it is a one-time clean. When you're charging for move in and move out cleans, you need to think about the fact that there's nothing there. There's nobody there. So that is going to be a easier job than if somebody lives there and they have 3 or 4 animals, 6 kids, a nasty husband. That was rude. Anyway, so that's going to be a harder job if you're having to clean up behind all those pets, all those people. So you are going to want to quote more for a job that, so when somebody lives there, than you would for something that was empty, obviously. So the best thing to do to be able to quote a job and know that you are getting your money's worth is to go to the job and give the quote. One thing I do not do is quote jobs to be paid by the hour. If I wanted to be paid hourly, I would clock in somewhere and work a 9-to-5 job. I am not working to be paid by the hour, because if you quote somebody a job by the hour, say you say $15 an hour, and like I said, this will differ depending on what state you live in. So say I said $15 an hour, and that's a pretty good bit here in Alabama, believe it or not. So, and I get there, and the job takes me 4 hours because they have 8 dogs, 6 cats, 10 kids. It didn't tell me none of that. I didn't go to quote the job. I did it over the phone, and now I've agreed to this $15 an hour. I'm working for 4 hours, and guess what? For 4 hours, I'm leaving with $60. $60, people. No, that is not okay. You go to that job, quote the job in person. You'll see those animals. You'll see the kids. You'll see, you'll smell how bad it is if it's a difficult job. And you can quote by that. You can quote that job. Even I have had to break houses up in 2 to 3 days worth because I can't stay there 8 or 9 hours and clean this place because it's so bad. I'm gonna have to break it down and come each day. But I still give one large quote for that if it's a hard job. But I'm gonna break it down in days so that I'm not killing myself. So that's one main thing. You want to make sure you do not sell yourself short. Make sure that you are getting enough money that you can keep your supplies up. You can eat lunch while you're out, because you're going to be going from job to job. You don't really have time to go home, sit down, cool off, and eat. You have to get gas to get to that job and back. You may have to get oil for your vehicle that day. You also still have to have money to put back into your business, money to put towards yourself. You need to pay yourself weekly so that your money that you're allowing yourself to spend is not like your entire revenue of your business. So you need to pay yourself outside of the money that you put back towards your business. And we will get into that more next Monday, because next Monday's conversation is about business revenue in total, supply cost, and business profit. So I'll get more into that next Monday, but do not sell yourself short. This is not fun and games. I hope you're not just going to do this one job to just leave and spend this money and none of it counts toward anything. Which, if you are, that's okay. Do you? If you just need to pick up a job here and there to feed your kids, get gas, and buy oil for your vehicle, then do you. But if you're making this a business, you have to know that the money that goes to you and the money that goes towards your business are two separate things. So back to quoting and estimates. So I would say, first, go to the job to quote it. 2, if that is not an option, ask them about the house. Tell them to tell you a little more about the job. So they may say it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. I need this, and this done. So I thought somebody was coming up on me. So you need to tell them your difference in a standard clean and a deep clean. Standard clean is what you're going to do at your own house weekly. That's, the basics. The floors, vacuuming, dusting, wiping the counters off in the kitchen, any dishes that you see, the basic stuff, the bathrooms. A deep clean is going to be if they want the inside of the windows in the house clean, the baseboards wiped off, the stuff pulled out of their refrigerator and the refrigerator cleaned, the cabinets wiped out in the kitchen. Like, that is a deep clean. You are coming out of your pocket if I'm getting on my hands and knees and cleaning your baseboards and I make refrigerators separate. I tell them I don't mind taking everything out of your refrigerator, breaking it completely down and cleaning it and making it look like you just bought it today. But that is time consuming, and you are going to pay for my time. I do not play about that. You have to know your worth. I will say that again. You have to know your worth. That's another thing. I refuse to clean with anybody at home. You are not following me around and helping me or telling me about anything that you think I've missed because you have no idea that I haven't even been in that room yet or that I have that written down to go back and do. And that's another thing. I will tell people, I love lists. If you want to leave a list in each room of everything you want done in that room, I am here for it. I will mark off that checklist and leave it in that room for you, so you can't come to a point and think that something hasn't been done because you didn't tell me to do it. You will see on that list that you didn't put that on there. And that's another thing. You need to tell these people that if they do not tell you to do something, you are not going to do it. If you have personal items on your bed and you did not tell me to touch those personal items, then guess what? They're still going to be sitting there, and that bed is not going to be made, because I am not touching any of your personal items that you did not tell me to touch. So I would make that very clear that if they want something done, they have to tell you to do it. I like to be told exactly what somebody wants me to do, because I like to go home knowing that I did every single thing that I needed to do in that house that they wanted done. I love to get text messages when they get home or emails telling me how good the house smelled and how much they loved it and how clean it was and how much they appreciated. And that's another thing. You can charge people what you want to, what they will agree to, obviously, but you need to work your butt off. You have to, these people also have to get their money's worth. When they come home, you want them to think, man, that was worth this money that I paid. That was worth all of that money that I paid, because it smells so good and it's so clean. That's also a good way to get reoccurring jobs. If you go to a one-time job or a once-a-month clean or a once-a-month deep clean and they are really satisfied with it, they may message you that next week and say, hey, do you mind giving me a quote for you to come weekly or bi-weekly instead of monthly, or instead of just that one time you did, because they were so satisfied. So look at you, you've picked up an entire other job, and now you have a recurring job. You have this whatever amount of money to depend on. And now, with that being said, weekly and bi-weekly cleans will be a smaller amount of money, because again, if you are there every week, then every single thing you dusted and cleaned the week before is not going to need to be done again. You will spend about half the amount of time at the job bi-weekly, and even less than that if it's weekly. So remember that, and when you quote the job for that, just know, now if you go the first time, if you've never went the first time and they want it to be a weekly or a bi-weekly job, I would tell them, well, and you go see the job, quote the job, or they tell you about it, and I would say it'll be this amount the first time I come, and then every other time after that it will be, and then you lower the price and charge them different, because then it's every week or every other week. But the first time you go is going to be different. It's going to be dirtier, dustier. You're not gonna know as much about the place, so it's going to take you more time to clean it and get to know everything. And that's another thing. When you go to clean somebody's house who lives there, have them show you where their stuff is. Like some clients, I take my own stuff too. I have a bucket, I have a mop, I have a broom, I have a vacuum. I take my own stuff, especially if it's a move-in or a move-out clean. There's nothing in that house, so you have to take your own stuff. A lot of people will want you to use their products, and that's perfect. That's even better, because then you don't have to use your own supplies that you pay for. So just have them show you where they keep their stuff, where's the closet for their stuff. And another thing I will do with my weekly or bi-weekly jobs, when the people ask me what can they do to make my job easier, or you know, if they just they want me to tell them when they need supplies and stuff is running low, I will ask them if they will put a toilet bowl cleaner and a toilet brush beside every toilet in the house. That way, I like to do the hardest part of every house when I get there. So I will go in, put gloves on, go through the house, and knock out every toilet. Period. I'm done with toilets. I don't have to go back to that. So I can go put those washcloths up, take my gloves off, and, you know, continue with the rest of the house. But I do like to knock that out first, so that's an option that you can tell them that will make it easier for you too. The amount of money that you quote for the jobs, again, like I said, will be based on where you live. Also, I do not quote jobs by the square footage, because even if you go to, say, a small 800 square foot apartment, okay, they can still have 3 dogs, 4 cats, and 6 kids. So it still can be completely destroyed and only be 800 feet big. Don't do that either. Don't base the job on the square footage. I would not, personally. I also do not do laundry. I deny laundry because laundry is very time consuming. And by the time I have cleaned your entire house, I'm just now putting the second load of laundry in the dryer. So what am I going to do? Sit down at the dinner table and hang out with you? No. I am going to be gone before you get home because I am not going to do your laundry. Oh, and I also almost always refuse ovens, which is another thing that if I do them, I charge separately because I cannot get them clean. I don't care what I do or what I use, I cannot get an oven clean, and I hate it. I don't like to leave anything like it already looked. So I'm going to end this with, choose how you are going to quote the job by how often the job is going to be. You need to know if it's a one-time job, which would be a move in or move out clean, or a one-time deep clean. It could be bi-weekly or it could be weekly. So you need to know how often the job is going to be. You need to look and see how bad the job is to know and make sure that you are getting your money's worth, and that you make sure that you put in the work also to get your money's worth, because you want them to be satisfied when they get home. I'll give you a quick tip of something that I do when I'm leaving a house, so that, you know, when they walk in, the first thing that they notice is the smell and how clean the house smells. So if you know of which door they go in and out most of their house, if there's any type of, I think it's called crown mold, whatever that plastic like stuff is called on walls, or even the door frame, I will spray whatever cleaner that I'm using that smells the best, and then I will just wipe the door or that area. Don't do it to like painted walls. I'm not telling you to do that. But I will wipe that crown mold off. Is that crown mold? My cousin's going to be disappointed in me for not knowing that. But I will spray it all over that and wipe it off, or spray it all over the door frame and clean the door frame really good with it. So as soon as they open the door, the first thing that they notice is the insane clean smell of the house. And I get text about that a lot, actually, that they love how good the house smelled as soon as they walked in. Like, that's all they could smell. I don't tell them my tricks though. They love it. Figure out how often it's going to be, figure out how bad it is, and you always want to work your butt off in every job that you do, because not only can that turn into a recurring job, but they also will, like if they live in a community they will spread the word about you. They will tell other people who live in the subdivision about you, and that just gets you more and more work. But if you don't do a good job and they've paid you all this money and they're upset about it, trust me, they will leave reviews about you places and on websites and stuff like that. So just make sure that you do, or your employees, whoever's going to do the work, does a good job. You have to make sure that when these people get home and see their house, that they think, man, that was worth the money. Yeah, I'm going to end that here. So just make sure that when you're given a quote, that it's so hard to like say exact amounts that you should quote for each job, because it varies so much by what exactly they want done. If it's a standard clean versus a deep clean, if you're using your own supplies, if you're using theirs, God, it depends so much on so many things. So you just have to know what to charge on your own. Like, you have to come up with that on your own. There's no book for that. There's no website for that. It just has to be, you have to know that it is enough money that you're working for, basically. Every job is a different amount. I'll say that. It's a different amount of money because it depends on so much. So just make sure you're getting your money's worth. Make sure you know your worth, and make sure that they are getting their money's worth and for your work, because you are doing all that you can to bust your butt and make sure that the house is up to standards as it should be, because you're getting paid good money if you're charging right to clean these people's houses. Do not miss next Monday, because we are talking about business revenue, supply cost, and business profit. So until then, I will see you all tomorrow, because it is Vlogust. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And as always, I will keep the Vlogust 2020 playlist listed in the description box below. So if you need to catch up, or if you've missed any videos, just click on that playlist and get caught up. And I will see you all tomorrow. I hope y'all have a fabulous Monday, and that y'all are being productive and you go out and get some work.